Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette. Today I'm joined by three local nonprofits, the Xilin Association, BizBuzz, and the Western DuPage Special Recreation Association.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, UC Bank.
You're watching Spotlight, and joining me now from the Xilin Association is Sophia Liu. So nice to have you back on the show, Sophia.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Yeah, let's start with your mission and the impact that you're having in the community.
Sure, yeah. So Xilin's mission has always been to serve the underserved senior youth, as well as vulnerable individuals from all walks of life. And the impact that we have in the community is enormous. You know, we started out here in Naperville since 1989. And we actually run a community center right here in Naperville. And in our center, you know, we focus on serving low-income Asian seniors, specifically the Chinese immigrants, low-income seniors, and then we provide a gracious space as daycare center for the seniors. You know, we also offer free transportations, and here in Naperville we have 14 buses that can pick up seniors. So we pick up them from their home and then drop off at our center from Monday to Friday.
Wow! From
8:30 to 2:30. So during these hours, we provide free breakfast, free lunch, and healthy snacks. Most importantly, we program diverse and healthy, daily activities to keep them physically and mentally healthy.
Okay, that's a big growth. So say a little bit more, because I remember when it started. Give a little more on the history.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know about this, actually. So Xilin, like I get that a lot. Like,
what does that mean?
What does that mean? Like, how do you even pronounce that? so Xilin is actually pinyin in Mandarin. So it's pronounced as Xilin. Like, think of it as S-H-E, the female she, and then followed by the word ling. So Xilin. So what does that mean exactly? It actually means the forest of hope in Mandarin.
That's so lovely. I love that. Did not know that.
So a lot of people don't know this, but we started out here in Naperville, which we always are always proud to call Naperville our home base and our headquarters. Started out in 1989 by the lovely lady, the founder of Xilin, Linda Yang. So at that time, we started out as the very first Chinese school in the United States that taught kids how to read and write in simplified Chinese.
Oh, okay.
And then we named this organization Forest of Hope as the metaphor to represent the kids since 1989. And then since early 2000, we expanded to serve the seniors.
Okay. And do you find, why did you choose to work for this organization, and why the morphing to the seniors?
Yeah, so it's my 6 years, working for Xilin as the Director of Community Engagement. The minute I joined this organization, it just hit me hard.
Okay.
In a fantastic way, because it really aligns with my personal values and my personal goals, which is to serve the community as well as, just help and serve vulnerable people.
And is that why it pivoted a little bit more to seniors? Because I would imagine that, particularly when you emigrate, it's a little more challenging. The older we get, the harder that becomes. Is that part of the reason that there was the pivot?
Yeah, because we saw the needs. Yeah, we started out, serving kids, But then as time goes by, we saw more and more immigrants coming to Naperville, especially, seniors. And then we saw the gap, and then we just decided, let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what's a common misperception that people might have?
Oh, because we have a Chinese name. So we must only serve Asians and Chinese. Partially true. When we first started, we focused on serving Asian seniors. But now, after 36 years of growth, we run the largest Asian community center in the state of Illinois. So we serve 5 counties and actually have 8 locations.
Okay.
So that being said, we serve different community members at different locations. So demographic-wise, we don't only serve Asians. We serve everyone.
Okay.
As of today.
Okay. Depending on where you are and what community.
Exactly.
Okay.
Regardless of your race or your gender, regardless of your background, we serve people with all walks of life.
Okay. How would you describe your organization in 3 words?
First word, pioneer.
Okay.
I would definitely consider us a pioneer, dating back, day one. We saw the needs and we're always creative, and then we just program-wise, we're always like catching up with the needs of different people, different needs. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then I would say bridge. We're definitely the bridge that breaks the language and cultural barriers.
Okay.
Third word, unity.
Okay.
I would say unity. Yeah, because, as I said, we serve everyone in needs, right? So by providing all kinds of, comprehensive and diverse programs and cater to these needs, we are unifying everyone.
Okay. I love those 3 words. You've been there 6 years. What's the thing that you're most excited about with the vision moving forward?
As I said, going back to the word that I used, pioneer, we serve seniors, we serve youth, we serve everyone. And I think the next thing that we would like to do is to create, jobs for IDD population, intellectual disability development.
Okay.
Because we saw the needs coming in.
Okay.
The word social enterprise always excites me. So going forward, we wanted to create jobs for IDD population as well as homeless.
Okay. Okay. Well, you've got some big goals.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
If you would like to learn more about the Xilin Association, please visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned for more Spotlight.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.
This is the Run My Own Business dream. This is the colleges paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey, where your dreams and possibilities become moments through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper. Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.
Welcome back to Spotlight. And joining me now from BizBuzz are Alan and Arv. So nice to have you both with here. It's really good to have you come back. I'm going to start out with you, Arv. Tell us again about BizBuzz, what it is, and the impact that you're having in the community and how the community is shaping your priorities.
Yeah, so in the simplest of terms, BizBuzz is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that's teaching entrepreneurship to 3rd to 9th graders for completely free, so no cost at all. And we do it through free programs such as workshops, our summer camp that's going on right now, and our signature fish tank competition, which we hold at the end of summer as our culmination event. So we started BizBuzz in April of 2024, and since then we've taught close to 1,000 students in the local community, Naperville, and even beyond that, just fundamentals of entrepreneurship and help them build real and tangible businesses as well.
I love that. And what I love is the fish tank as opposed to the shark tank. I think that's really nice. Talk a little bit about how are they shaping what you're thinking you're doing, you know, as you're going through this program, and I know you had a terrific launch and you've got a lot going on this year. How do they drive what you're going to do?
So being like a completely free entrepreneurship program and like program for these students as well, it's kind of servant leadership. So the whole idea is to put the students, the parents, and the families first. So we take a lot of feedback from them, from past students from our last program. So this year we've taken on, I'd like to say like 4 or 5 students who participated in Fish Tank last year onto our executive and instructor teams.
Okay.
And they've helped us like revamp our curriculum. So what that looks like is, so from last year, we kind of expanded the amount of time that our program runs for and the type of activities we do, and just having them with us is super important to understanding what they enjoyed last year, like what worked, what didn't, and how we can shape it better to just make sure it's not the same every year. We're always like trying to become better and better.
I love that. I love that. That's such a nice 360, right? You're giving information, they're giving it back to you, you're building it into that system. Ellen, what's your why for this?
Yeah, so I started BizBuzz with Aura because I knew we both wanted to create some entrepreneurship program and community that we wish we had growing up.
Okay.
I was one of those kids who loved watching Shark Tank religiously with my parents over dinner. And I thought that it would be really cool to bring it to Naperville, especially since most of the schools in the Naperville and the greater Chicagoland area don't necessarily have business or even finance classes for middle schoolers. So entrepreneurship for me has always felt like something that you got to get started and get serious on later, but not something necessarily you can be curious about now. And me and Arv wanted to change that. So we brought BizBuzz to Naperville as one of the first business camps, and we're really excited to see a lot of traction with it and our signature fish tank competition that he mentioned. And this past year, we're going into week 5 of our summer camp right now with over 120 total students. And
that's amazing.
We're getting ready for Fish Tank.
That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, when you're younger, your fear of failure is a lot lower, right? And I think as we get older, the thought of entrepreneurship, it's a little bit, the stakes are a bit higher. Will I make my mortgage payment? How am I going to pay the bills, right? Whereas when you're in 3rd grade, what are you worried about? Mom and Dad are going to cover that. So it's great because you start to get those skills early on. I think that's terrific. Arv, what makes this organization unique versus other people who have maybe similar missions?
Yeah, so obviously, like it's like not like very unknown that there's a lot of programs that teach students like skills like entrepreneurship and like finance and STEM as well. The thing that sets us apart though, I think, is kind of how our curriculum is structured. So we have the whole 7-week process that's helping them build up to a culmination event. So they feel like they're actually creating something big, something that they're like something tangible that they can present at the end. And at the fish tank competition, I think that's the real differentiation factor, especially because we have judges from around the state of Illinois. Last year, we had a U.S. House of Representative, Janet Yang-Rohr. We had our City Director of Finance as well, Raymond Munch. And it's super amazing for the kids to see like all these like people who they want to be in the future and pitch to them. And it's just, it just kind of motivates them to do better, and it motivates us to do better as well.
I love that. Well, and it certainly gives them a lot of skills that they can take into whatever they're doing, right? That public speaking, kind of handling the pressure of all of that. So those are a lot of those soft skills that we all need when we move out of the education process. Ellen, give an impactful story or a moment that you really feel like, okay, this is really why we did it.
Yeah, so last summer, I was fortunate enough to get to know the names of all of our fish tank participants and competitors, but I never could have expected one of them to be David. So the story with David is that Eddie, who is one of our BizBuzz leaders and instructors, and I were hosting some of our office hours for the fish tank competition that was just 1 week away. And David was just a random kid at the library and walked up to us and quite literally asked us what in the world we were doing with so many students and so many random projects going on. And we explained fish tank to him and the whole concept, all the details, but we didn't really expect him to join because it was just a week away. But when his eyes lit up and we saw him, take a lot of interest in this program and begged us to join, we decided to take a chance, even though we were a little bit hesitant since it was just 1 week away. And he did extremely well with his fish tank with his idea called Paper Army, which was a fun twist on Mark Rober's build boxes to help students like him interested in 3D modeling use that for social good. And After that, catching up with David after the school year, just talking to him, grabbing some ice cream at Dunkin' has been, one of the most memorable and like meaningful experiences I've had as not only as a mentor but also as a friend. It's come a long way. I've seen kids like him grow countless times, and it's just a really cool part of the process. We think that like good ideas, there's never a shortage of good ideas, but maybe just a shortage of good listeners out there and places to share those ideas.
I think that's lovely.
We want to help kids like David, share their ideas, find their ideas, and the courage to share them. Yeah.
Well, and you're learning, I mean, I loved how you said, Arv, about servant leadership. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're learning a lot of skills in that process too, right? I mean, even though you're sharing all of this good with the kids, you're also benefiting from it as a mentor. Talk a little bit about that, Arv, of how this volunteer role that you've had in the founding with Alan, how has that sort of helped your growth and your professional development?
Yeah, definitely for Alan, I can speak for myself and him. It's helped us a huge amount. So we started this as sophomores, just coming out of sophomore year. So obviously what many people will think, or even sometimes it's true, sophomores or students in high school don't have all the skills you need, but we learned we also developed like our innovative mindset through Fish Tank and through hosting the curriculum as well. So if we see a problem, we think, oh, how can I make a solution? And kind of just not limiting ourselves, just kind of building that innovative mindset as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Alan, you got any thoughts on that?
I think one of the conversations I had last year with one of the students actually sparked an idea I had and I was building. So recently we built like an assistive headband for visually impaired swimmers, and that was actually inspired by one of the Fish Tank competitors last year. So that conversation and just that ability to use innovation as a tool for our communities in solving some of the world's most pressing problems is something that I've been learning alongside the students, just innovating, building, and thinking as big as possible. And I think that's been a really big part for me.
Yeah, and a lot of collaboration.
Yes,
I mean, you clearly between the two of you, I mean, obviously you've got a great rapport. You brought a lot of instructors in. You got a lot of kids in there. There's a lot of collaborative, self-directed learning going on there, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful. We wish you all the best as you finish out this year. We can't wait to hear who wins the Fish Tank. And we look forward to many more innovations.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. For more information about BizBuzz, please go and visit their website. We're taking a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.
This is the When Art Flourishes, Everyone Flourishes commitment. This is the Let's Revitalize Our Neighborhoods commitment. This is the Roll Up Our Sleeves and Pitch In commitment. This is Busey, where our commitment to strengthen our communities is a top priority. Through energetic, engaged volunteers, through monetary support and advocacy. Because Busey is more than a bank that does well, we're a bank that does good.
NCTV covers the Naperville Fire Department in so many ways. Whether it be a firefighter's memorial, talking about our history.
The Naperville Fire Department is celebrating its 150th anniversary.
The citizens appreciate public safety, looking at the innovations that we provide.
They designed the Poseidon nozzle. It attaches to a fire hose and is slid under a vehicle to pump water into the undercarriage.
And of course, focusing on the daily service that we do for our community.
Naperville residents had the opportunity to train much like firefighters would by crawling and climbing through a 4-week program.
Naperville is lucky and fortunate to have a team of people that are dedicated at NCTV to get us to get the information out to the community that's so important and so helpful in keeping this community safe and informed.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. And joining me now from Weston DuPage Special Recreation Association, or WDSRA, are Ryan Fleck and Andrea Cook. So nice to have you both with us.
Thanks for having us, Jane.
Absolutely. So, Ryan, I'm going to start out with you. Tell us a little bit about WDSRA.
Yeah, sure. WDSRA, we provide recreation and social programs for individuals with disabilities in DuPage County. Think of your local park district, which offers art, dance, music, sports. We offer them for people with disabilities.
Okay, so it's really a really nice companion, if you will. Yeah, I love that. And you're pretty broadly, Weston DuPage, it's quite a big amount of space that you cover.
Correct. As far north as Roselle, as far south as Naperville. Our athletics program is booming. We offer year-round Special Olympics activities for all of our athletes.
Now, talk a little bit about your connection with the Special Olympics program.
Yeah, Special Olympics is one of the largest sports organizations for people with intellectual disabilities. We at WDSRA provide those sport programs for our athletes to compete in Special Olympics.
Okay, and how many sports do you cover?
We do have over a dozen sports with over 100 athletes. Many of those athletes compete in sports year-round.
That's amazing. That's a big amount of people involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I'm going to ask you, Andrea. So, what sports do you play?
I play basketball, softball, volleyball, pickleball, soccer, and I'm just gonna be starting flag football and football.
Oh my gosh, you're like a one-woman sports show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how long have you been playing?
10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good long time. And I think I can tell from the medal around your neck, you had a pretty successful recent opportunity at the Special Olympics.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, tell me what you won your medal for.
Soccer.
Yeah, is that your favorite?
Yes.
Okay, and where do you play on the field?
All positions.
Okay, all positions.
Yeah, I tried goalie one time. And it was okay, but I still like being out with my friends.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit lonely being back in the goal. A lot of pressure. I never liked that. I never thought that was very good. And how did you feel about the experience? How was it when you won your medal?
Awesome.
Do you have a trophy?
Yes.
Show me.
Right here.
I love that. That's a pretty good sized trophy.
Yeah, it's pretty big, and I like it because it says it's Special Olympics Illinois 2005 Summer Games Soccer Tournament, Traditional Senior Division 1.
Love that. Love that. And did you make a lot of friends through that? Yeah. Have you been playing with a lot of the same people for that 10 years or a lot of different new people?
Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
The same amount of friends. Sometimes we'll have like one or two, like new people.
Okay.
But pretty much the same people, same friends.
Okay. Ryan, were you coaching?
I was.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about how that went.
It was great. Early on in the year, we were just kind of learning the game and going over basic positioning. It was great to see at some of our later practices in the year, the athletes coming together and working together as a team. It went on to the regional tournament where we won both of our games, and that qualified us for the state summer games. At the state summer games this year, not only did we have soccer, but we had 4 other sports: powerlifting, bocce, track and field, and swimming.
Awesome.
And the soccer team took home first place, and we won many other medals and ribbons at the competition.
That's awesome. I mean, what a great, 4 out of, I think you said you offered 12 sports, so that's like you won a third of the sports that you offer.
Correct. Yep, Summer Games has, they offer 8 different sports.
You were half of them you won it.
Right.
That's amazing. That's really good. And about how many athletes did you say? About 100 that are involved in this?
In our agency
program?
is over 100.
Okay, that's amazing. That's really good.
Yep.
Andrea, if you kind of thought about the thing that you most like about being on the team, not just the winning, what was the best part about being on the team?
That I get to hang out with my awesome coach, Ryan. And I get to hang out with my friends, and because we all get to take turns. But mostly is that you're having fun, and you have to listen to instructions, and that's it.
Okay, she sounds pretty coachable.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's about us building friendships on and off the field with our own teammates and even with our competitors. Special Olympics is a broad. There's a lot of people there that love meeting up with each other. You may not see them over the course of the year, but at Summer Games, there's a lot of people there, and these guys go back, way back.
I love that. I love that. Ryan, what would you say to a family that's maybe thinking about this? What would you say?
I would say contact us and let's try it out. We offer many programs, not just in sports, but like I said, music, dance, social programs, and come on out and give us a try. The friendships that are made are fantastic.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And obviously you're offering a broad range and people can get involved and maybe they can take home some hardware, which is always nice, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you both so much for coming by. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our fall registration is open now.
Okay, excellent. And they would just go to your website to get more information?
That is correct. Or feel free to contact our office.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. We're going to wish you good luck for next year. I'm sure you're going to be back there in one of your very many sports.
Thank you.
Yes. To find out more about WDSRA, please go and visit their website.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.
I'd like to thank all of my guests for joining us on Spotlight, and our friends at Busey Bank for their generous sponsorship of today's show. To learn more about the organizations featured on this episode, please visit our website at nctv17.org. And to stay informed about what's happening in our community, sign up to receive our daily news update and like and follow us on social media. For Spotlight, I'm Jane Wernette. Thank you for watching.